glory. We have come to answer our country's call. From the 4 proud provinces of Ireland, 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 together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. We'll answer Ireland's call.
Merci, thank you. Maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, voici l'hymne du Japon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Japan anthem.
Japan looking to stay in the championship, taking on a determined Irish side, an unfamiliar territory of this playoff game. And Ireland are one of the tallest teams, and there's plenty of tall timber in this starting 8. Daly, Dunn, also Agnew, Caelan, Doris is their outstanding captain. Keep an eye out for Hume and O'Brien, the 2 wingers who can finish. And this Japanese side have played a lot of minutes, in particular a couple of players who have played 320 in every single game. Okayama returns to captain the side from number 7. Moala is the big ball-running number 8. And Fafita and Vakalahi should get them over the advantage line in the backs. Carl Dixon in charge of the match. And Ireland will be playing into the breeze in the first 40 minutes. Japan with the breeze at their back. And Tom May, this breeze is probably worth about 9 points.
Well, we saw pre-game, didn't we? Vailea was having some shots at the post, both from the floor and drop goals. He was sailing through the sticks with a lot to spare. Have to be really careful with their discipline in these opening 40 minutes, Ireland.
Ireland lost to France, and then South Africa, Georgia and Scotland to find themselves in this position after a very good Six Nations campaign. Harry Byrne gets us underway in first possession for Japan. A battle in the air, and that's a nice take from Shimakawa.
Let go! Let go!
And an early penalty, taking a player out around the ruck. It's an early error from the Japanese.
Yeah, it's an early mistake. Pretty easy one as well. Fairly clear instructions from Carl Dixon. You can't take that player too far past the breakdown. And this game is going to be all about fine and very, very sparse opportunities, I think. He's so close. It may well be down to the battle of the kickers.
This is Harry Byrne from the UCD club in Leinster, 28 points for the tournament. Saw him about an hour ago where he was kicking into the breeze. It's dropped down now. And he made beautiful contact, didn't have too many problems from this range. Byrne just pushes it to the left.
Well, you can see the wind there. He's really had to put his foot through that to make sure that he's got the distance. And the wind just taking it off. Might well see Ireland change their strategy in and around those penalties, dependent on the wind and the conditions.
You get a fair indication of just how strong their breeze is from this drop kick that should go 40 on the fly. Already into the Irish half. Byrne takes it to the line, gives it to the halfback, and Stewart, he offloads to O'Brien out on the left wing. And now they'll get into their pods, into their work, where the forwards will look to try and battle things. Byrne at first receiver, and then he gives it to Doris, the captain. Nice shape there. Byrne looks up, kicks down to the 22 of Japan, and this should return with interest. And Japan just looking to play territory in the opening couple of minutes here. That's a nice kick.
That's a great return.
There goes Lowry with his first touch of the ball on debut. Here is the fullback. Nice work, and now they go to work out the right-hand side. They've got numbers here. Stewart's on the inside. Stewart gets the ball now. It's the shoulder of Villiers coming over from the wing, and now Japan will just look to kick and ask Ireland to bring it all the way back again. That breeze again is so strong here that Ireland, through Laurie, will get back 10 out from his own line, and he just kicks it out into touch. It's an easy tactic if you've got the win in the first 40.
Yeah, a couple of great kicks there from Japan. I know that they work so hard in defence, don't they? Their kick chase has been good. Certainly improved from match day one, where they played against the Baby Blacks. Punished there when they were caught out in that area, and they've worked hard, but their defensive systems have served them well.
Go, go.
Short line out from the Japanese has been overthrown, and so Ireland look to get their hands on possession. Quick run there from Sheehan, pops it up to Agnew. To the right, Byrne into the breeze, still using plenty of width, and the ball will come to you. So good ball control from the Irish. Not Howard gets up and goes again, does James Hume. Ball goes past Doris into the hands of Angier. This is Byrne. He'll challenge the line, gets on the outside, does the first 5. Now needs some support. Byrne to the line, the lovely pass to O'Brien. Just 5 short, he pops it up to Daly. Ireland looking good on the attack. Slow ball now. We've got options out to the left or right. It's Agnew on this occasion. Into the tackle of Moala. Back to the right with Daly. Comac Daly, the big 2-metre lock. Ball on the inside to his teammate, and Dunn, who goes 6 short. 7 phases from the Irish, and Stewart will score. Lovely play from the live wire halfback through the dummy, and Ireland score first.
Great score for Ireland. Brilliant break by Harry Byrne. Influential game against the French earlier in the tournament. Really getting a grip early on in this game. Such an important fixture this for Ireland. Unknown territory. We look here. There's a good just delay on the pass.
Just on the right post, please.
Ensuring that those breakdown defenders were put under a huge amount of pressure. It did well, Johnny Stewart.
How much time? Empty.
Japan have missed 6 tackles already in the opening 5 minutes of the game, and they're starting to find some holes and close by the ruck, and it was Byrne who made that initial break.
Yeah, I think the kick chase, as I mentioned just before, is in good shape for Japan. As Byrne knocks over for the added 2. The kick chase is in good shape. Their set piece systems and their defence on the run is what lets the Japanese down. I mentioned just before, 77%. It's a low figure to be operating at defensively.
Ireland have been in the red zone in the tournament 163 times, and they're the 2nd worst at finishing. So they get themselves into good positions, but on that occasion they were able to get the 7 points. Good start. Valea hangs it high in the air. It drops inside the Irish 22, and another missed tackle there. James Hume breaking the first. Stewart gets it out to Agnew. They pick and go through the middle, so change of tactic. Japan try and get their hands on the ball, they can't. And now it's cleared. Sylvester comes back into where the heavy forwards are. Again, it's one off running, this time Jack Daly. And there's another gap from Doris. Hume shows some nice dance moves, and now Hume into the backfield, takes on the fullback. Tackle is made. Stewart's there again, the try scorer. Now they pop it up, they're queuing up. Here comes the big boys. And Gier goes 5 short. They've got big numbers out to the left, but he's holding on.
First man, holding on.
And Japan will get a penalty.
Again, another length of the field. Break from the Irish. They know full well that if they keep hold of the ball, then they'll be in with a chance of getting opportunities to get over the line.
You're gonna kick?
Just discipline.
Okay.
Need to be so precise in those areas high up the field. Don't want to let teams off the hook easily. Certainly with this breeze.
Okay.
You can see how far that ball's travelled.
Time off, please.
Like the ball running of this Irish team, identifying that there's some real gaps and some weak shoulders in that close rucks, and well, they just seem to be exploiting it with ease.
Well, we were talking pre-game, weren't we, about how we might have seen this go as the stats flick up. 15 tackles already made by the Japanese, but 7 of them missed. That's a huge figure. 1 a minute. Not something they will want to be repeating. We were talking, weren't we, about the two wingers have played a lot of their games in at the centre, and actually the 2 centres that they have today, you know, Brian and Sylvester, they've played a lot of rugby on the outside backs. So we've got some attacking players.
Just stay in the corner there. Here we go.
First meeting between these two sides in World Rugby Under-20 Championship history. Former Ireland captain Paul O'Connell, of course, the assistant coach. We saw him during the warm-up as well, Tom, and he didn't look too happy at basically where they're playing and the position they found themselves in.
Yeah, and we heard the messaging, didn't we? We go straight at them, but they're all about being direct, making Japan make tackles.
Miyu Arai finds his target in Shimokawa. Running upright, finally get into the ground. There's Moala, and now the tackle and the turnover. Doris is there, big and strong, gets the offload to Dunn.
Scrum advantage.
So Japan on the attack already, lose the ball, and now Byrne kicks the ball over the top. Sits up for Yamazawa.
5, stop.
He does what every good player, but I think he's going to overcook it, and that's going to go all the way back to where he kicked it from his own 22. That's a long kick.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
It's a long kick, but it's also a big, big error. Now offering up attacking opportunity to the Irish inside their own 22, the Japanese. You can't get too fixated with using the wind as an opportunity to get downfield. Yes, use it when it's appropriate, but don't overcook it.
Okay. Here. Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Again, showing the strength of the breeze, and Japan thought they were going to be 80 metres upfield, and all of a sudden they find themselves back in their own 22. Full complement of backs for the Irish out to the right. They've got their fullback, Michael Lowry, who's come up and standing in between where the scrum is and the first 5. Options to go left and right.
We had the conversation pre-game. Hold our weight.
We've seen his footwork, haven't we,
from
Lowry.
Let's go.
In that position there, he's got options to go either way, dependent on which shoulder the Irish front row managed to get up.
Crouch! Bind! Pre-engage, far side.
They tap and go through Doris. Indirect penalty, so the captain just taps it. Got a little bit isolated there, but His forwards managed to get there in time to secure possession. Stewart gets it out one wider. And again, the forwards now look to get some valuable metres through. Angier, Byrne will want the ball at some stage, but first it's Daly, Cormac Daly. Now they're 6 short. Here's Byrne with a wide pass out to O'Brien. Japan making more tackles again. It's Okayama trying to get the steal. I think he might get the penalty. The referee says he wasn't onside.
And that's one person that the Irish do need to be aware of. Okayama at 7. Stocky gets in good body positions in and over the ball. Really difficult to move from that space when he's in.
They're in the red zone again, the Irish. Haven't had too much success down here against other sides, but they should be able to win the ball from the line out. It's cleanly won, and Doris loops around. They get it back to the hooker, and he's over. Dan Sheehan gets over for Ireland's second. A well-worked move, and more mistakes from Japan have cost them points.
Great try from the Irish. Nothing better in putting something into practice that you've spent hours on in the training field. Set piece move. Came off brilliantly. It's a great take in the air, but look at that shift of the ball. And again, it's Doris. He's involved in everything, isn't it? Everything that's good that the Irish do. Caelan Doris is involved somehow. And Sheehan finishing just as any hooker would want to finish. Bundling into a load of bodies.
He ran straight at the winger. The Japanese winger, who's not a small person, Vailea, just had the bulk to get over 50% record for Harry Byrne thus far. And this is better from Ireland.
It's always going to be tough from that angle for Harry Byrne. That's one of those kicks that you get when it's windy conditions like this as a 10, as we see a replay again. It's just good hands from Doris, wasn't it? He did well to deal with both of those Japanese defenders. Dan Sheehan. A good lead now for the Irish, 12-0.
Beautifully positioned. Kick off, and again it's Hume, the right winger, who takes it and has lost it forward though. So an error here from the Irish give Japan their first real attacking opportunity inside the Irish 22.
Yeah, it all came from a great kick from Vailea. Put a huge amount of pressure on James Hume. Right on the touchline, had nowhere to go. Mentioned the Japanese kick chase. They've got some threats, haven't they, the Japanese? I was wandering down pitch side before the game. Soon sought shelter up here next to you, Willie. They are some big human beings wandering around in that back line for Japan.
They just need to be patient. They've got the players, as you mentioned, but at times they just rush things and show the miracle pass. But first things first is the scrum. And it's a full penalty here. His good goal kicker is Hiroto Mamada. They're not interested in threes, they want multiples of 5 or 7.
Interesting call. We've debated that quite a lot, haven't we, over the past 3 weeks? Teams interested in going for goal. Real attacking mindset that a lot of these teams have, which is great to see.
You want to make sure you go for the money ball here. Don't try and throw the miracle ball down the back into this breeze. That's the money ball at 2, and Shimakawa does his job of securing possession. Maul called from the referee. Then they start to pump the legs. Arai has the ball in the back. They inch forward and closer to the Irish line, to Japan. Arai in control in the back. Down over the line, referee getting in to try and have a look. Just a metre short. Now they pick and go from Moala. He's stopped in his tracks from Dunn.
On the line.
Backs want the ball, and the backs get it.
Let go 13.
Bakalahi into the contact. There's more numbers out wide for Japan if they want it. Chance it. And they do look to chance it. Mamata gets a nice pass out to Yamazawa. Out wide by Leah. Should score, and he's going to finish it. Great reward for Japan. Here come the Brave Blossoms.
Great finish from Vailea. Brilliant try from Japan. All that hard work from that maul that originated from the penalty. Ireland have to be careful. Vailea did brilliantly. He may well have been slightly fortunate to slip under the tackle of Lowry, but then the awareness to get back to his feet and make the kick easier. But it all originated from a great driving line out, didn't it? Good power. And we see so many teams perhaps stay there one or two phases too long, and it was just shifting the ball when the space was there.
So pleased you raised that, because we've seen it on a number of occasions at this level where the pick and go, the forwards try and out-battle their opponents, and the better option is to go wide. There's plenty of space, as we saw there. A couple of long passes puts the defenders in two minds, and all of a sudden Vailea's in. And now Yuto Mori out of the Meiji University, one of the big universities in Japan. Saw him an hour before kickoff. He was practicing on this side. It's not his favorite side. He's got to aim for the right-hand post. Now a couple before the game, and there you go. Through it goes. Japan come back within 5.
It was good recognition, wasn't it, from Mamata when the ball needed to come out. It was actually Mori that gave that good wide pass. Recognition of space, when to play into it, when to shift the ball away from those tight areas. Good play from Japan.
Burner goes right down the middle. You can see the wind holding the ball up, and they get a chance to contest in the air, but possession to Japan. Here's Moala, the big number 8, runs into Doris, who brings them down 10 metres inside their own half. They look to use some decoy players, and then Mori with the kick. It's a high one down to where Byrne will take it just a metre inside the touchline, and he kicks into the breeze, finds good purchase. Yamazawa looks and sees some green grass out on that left-hand side. What a kick! Oh, lovely play.
That's absolutely brilliant from Japan. Good kick down this near touchline. I thought it was going to drift into touch, actually. And there was a poor return, difficult return for Harry Byrne. But you could see the space as that Irish kick chase came up. The space was left in behind. And again, good recognition, good spatial awareness from the Japanese.
Short line out by the Irish with plenty of tall timber. Their line out's not short.
Nine.
Couple of players over 2 metres, and there's one of them that goes high, and Cormac Daly from the Clontarf Rugby Club in Leinster. Good play here from the Irish, controlling things in the back as Agnew. Now Stewart gets the ball. Just stay in as it does. Here's Fafita with his first touch. Likes to go direct, does the big Tongan-born left winger for Japan. Slow ball, and the backs want it. Mori didn't have too many options, but just to offload to Bakalahi, and he'll cart the ball forward. Moala's got around the corner and calls for the ball. There's the number 8. Now back to the left, the forwards getting involved. This is Hashimoto. Here's another one out of Meiji University. Thought about going the right, then the left. Mori with the skip pass out to Yamazawa. Good defence from Ireland. Good line speed, and they're making their tackles.
Good balance as well from the Japanese.
Kick over the top. Lowry let it bounce, and again finds its way into touch.
Yeah, they're getting their range now. They're starting to understand the breeze. Those lower kicks work so well. Hiroto Yamada, well, that's 2 on the bounce. I like the balance between him and Yuto Mori in the midfield. Got some big units, as we said, Fafita, Vakalahi, Vailea. But the options in the eyes that those two have, managing this game very well at the moment.
He's the try scorer, one of the try scorers for Ireland, and Dan Sheehan. His line-out throws have been accurate.
That's one.
And now Agnew joins in the boot of the maul. Playing into the breeze, you want to try and keep it as close as you can. Stewart looks to box kick again.
It's not a bad box kick, to be fair. In this breeze, getting past the 10-metre line, Ireland pretty happy with that. Just got to be patient in those areas and make sure that their setup's correct. No point in rushing, especially in these conditions.
Shimokawa is the target. They bring Vailerin off the right wing. He finds the shoulder of Sheehan. The hooker standing out in the midfield, strong. Now the Japanese, and in particular the right winger. That's a nice carry. They'll get the penalty as well here.
Number 2, you're fine. Number 2's got to get out of the way.
Sheehan not getting out of the road quick enough. I wouldn't be surprised if Japan take the points here.
And now's the opportunity to take the 3, isn't it? Debating it. Well, there's about 5 of them debating it at the moment. Oh, they've gone for the corner. Fair enough. What do we know?
We're old school, that's what it is.
I think it's something else that we've mentioned during this tournament is actually when something's working for you and you feel you've got confidence in that part of your game, then don't stray too far from it. Obviously feel their driving maul's working pretty well, confident in their ability.
It's a tough ball to take in the middle of the line-out with the breeze the way that it is, and now Yamamoto has the ball, and Arai, who threw the ball in the hooker, tries to control things in the back. They just need to be patient here, Japan. They're making good meters here. They're going to get another advantage.
9, let go.
Ireland trying to sack them all. They haven't done it now. Vailea with the crossfield kick pass over to Fafita. He takes it. Takes Lowry at the same time. Now come back for the penalty.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lowry's done brilliantly there to defuse that, because he's gone head-to-head with one of the biggest players on the field in Fafita. Oh, good strength, good bravery. That's exactly what you want from your fullback, isn't it? Again, Japan opting for the corner.
The maul is working really well, so they should have confidence here. Shimokawa wins the ball at the line-out. They form a nice wedge, and then they just seem to drive. And Ireland are in a few problems here, or having some problems, but Arai needs to get the throw right.
The ones that have worked, they've had great body position as well. Let's see if they get that right this time.
Change it. The point of attack to win the ball at the front of the line-outs. Maul is called. The ball needs to be pushed to the back so that the Irish can't stop it from coming back. And that's what they've done. So first things first. First job is done, and now they start to get some valuable meters. Japan rumbling forward. They're over the line. There's the try. Japan strike back. Wonderful maul. Great line-out. And we're all tied up.
Great score from the Japanese. We've mentioned it just before, don't stray away from what's working well for you. And this is an area that they're having real success in at the moment. Such confidence to go from so far out as well. Their body positions working really hard as a collective unit. Rento Sukayama, well, he gets bundled over. And as you say, we're tied up 12-all with a shot to come. And he nailed one from this position before, didn't he, Maury? He's just got to hit the left pole here. The wind will do the rest.
This to take the lead for the first time in 24 minutes. Yuto Mori. Pushed it too far to the left.
Need to keep that inside the poles. We see the body positions of the Japanese here working so well as a group. The leg drive is fantastic. Ireland really nothing in response, but they need to sort that part of their game out quickly. So we called out twice now.
big lock getting over, wasn't it? Yuga Hashimoto in to score Japan second. We're all tied up. Change of tactic from the Irish, going a little bit deeper on this occasion. Here's Moala. He's never afraid to carry the ball as the big number 8 for Japan.
Tackle!
Just gets outside the 22. Honda is at half-back, and they go straight down the middle of the park in between Laurie and Byrne. Byrne will get it. Gives it to his fullback. He finds O'Brien out on the left-hand wing. That's the halfway line, you can see. Stewart comes in to clear. They rush up out of the line, do the Japanese defenders. Yamamoto with the tackle. Byrne gives the ball out the back to O'Brien. Going lateral are the Irish at the moment. Stewart back to the left with Byrne. They've got some decoy runners and some players in front. Beating the first and the second is Peter Sylvester.
Off feet, Japan!
Slow ball. And this pass out to Angier down the left-hand flank, close to the touchline, and now they look to come back in field.
Good patient attack from the Irish, just shifting that point of attack, but the defence at the moment standing up well for the Japanese.
And Stewart gets it out to Byrne, no other real option but to kick across field, and that's out on the full.
Well, that's a shocker from Byrne. Just starting to find a bit of space down that far touchline. Just kicking the ball away. That's one of the hardest skills that we're going to see all day, to be honest, in these conditions. If someone nails it, take your hat off to them.
Well, these two teams are, through the stats that we were given, some of the lowest offloaders. And that's, they're going to the contact. They're not known as a team that offload. Look at a team like France that have 64 offloads in their carries. Japan just 11 in their 4 matches as the ball is won again by Shimokawa. Set something in the midfield.
I reckon I know who those offloads have come from. It'd be Fafita and Moala as well.
This is Hondo, whose sister represented Japan at the Winter Olympics in Korea just a few months ago. There he is in it, halfback again, trying to get the ball out to Mamata, who's in the pocket. Good pressure coming in from Ireland, but they use the aerial route on this occasion. Laurie couldn't control it, ball bounces and he's lost it forward. Referee says it's come back. Valera's there. He gets his hands on the ball. Great work from the right winger. Here comes Japan. Mamata goes wide to Mori. He throws a nice short pass to Yamasawa. Lost it clean there. All tidied up from the tidy head prop on Jaron now. They'll have to try and work from inside their own 22. Sheehan makes 4 or 5 metres. Byrne to the line. Ball out the back to O'Brien. They've got some numbers here.
Great hit from Bakalahi. Brilliant. And the Irish just realising they're going to have to try and play their way out of this area of the field.
They've got skills and they've got plenty of players out to the right as Doris makes a break. Nice run from the captain. Doris looked at the last defender. Good tackle from Mori. Inside the 22, Stewart gets there. Ireland through Byrne, hits it nice and flat. There's an advantage here, and there's plenty of players out to the left. Here's Dunn. He's 4 short. Now it's Sylvester.
That should have gone.
Advantage.
Needed to send it out to the left because there was plenty of players, and here comes the penalty. Could possibly have been 5.
Okay. Players offside and a high tackle. Turn it with that. Turn it with her offside.
Great break from Caelan Doris. I thought he was going to go the length. Just back yourself, pin your ears back. Back-to-back penalties.
The high tackle.
And the Japanese just need to be careful. Carl Dixon will be looking out for those.
I don't need that 4, thank you. Right in front of the post.
Just as they broke then. Okay. Sometimes when you're trying to kick upfield and the wind's so strong, you almost just got to try and play your way out. Everyone's got to work that much harder. 5, 10, 15% extra work needs to go in these conditions. And then come second half, as we see the high shot, come second half, you can use that wind. Japan have got that opportunity in this half, but they'll have to work doubly hard as well.
Here he is, 30 points in the tournament, and really controlling the tempo of the game is Harry Byrne today. Easy bread and butter for a kick of his quality, and Ireland take the lead again. 10 minutes to play before the break. Ireland leading Japan 15-12.
Well, we knew it was going to be a tight game, didn't we? But it's been a great game to watch. Ireland way up past 300 metres made already. Japan just 46. 15-12, we have got a game on our hands here.
46 metres only Japan have made, and there's 17 carries. Ireland 50 carries for 321 into a breeze. What an incredible stat that is. This time they changed the point of attack. Instead of going into the 22, they asked for Fita to chase up and make the first tackle, and Ireland again go to work from the set piece. That was Jack Daly wearing jersey number 6. They used the decoy runners here. Nicely do Ireland, and Sylvester had her arm free but couldn't release it. Byrne, the wide pass out to O'Brien. They take him, ball and all, and now they look to try and rip the ball out. Does by Leah. Counter ruck is good. Stewart runs lateral. Isolated there. Eventually it comes back, and Duggan has to play halfback out to O'Brien. Good from the centre to get involved, getting his hands on the ball nice and early. Byrne, the architect, throws a nice pass out to Dunn. Another penalty coming to the Irish. They work it the same way out to Hume. He's got some pace as Hume, got some power as well. Doris with a nice ball inside to Daly. Now it's Hume. Hume steps off the right. Inside the 22 they go.
Never on the ball.
Never on the ball, so they can pick and go again, Ireland. They're queuing up on the left-hand side. This is where the ball needs to go.
Away, 14.
Slow ball, though. Stewart gets it out to Angier. He throws it out to Sheehan. That's been lost forward.
Knocked on. Just a knock on.
Knock on from the Japanese, and so Ireland just slow things down again. Daly spots a gap.
Oh, good carry.
Nice carry from Daly, 7 short. Ireland. That's a good shot put on Angier. And now out to Doris. They fly out of the line again to the Japanese. Here's Byrne. Japan keeping their width. Ireland keeping the ball. Back to Sylvester. He's caught. Stewart, who scored the first try, gets it out to Daly. Quick hands out to O'Brien. O'Brien halfway through, pops it up to Lowry. Lowry's over. The referee says still short. Just 16 phases. And now Ireland look to try and dominate. They need some reward for all of the territory and possession they have. Right and left are the two options. They come out to the right with Sylvester. Crawls along the ground. They pick and go. Doris. Just a metre short again. It's in close. Wonderful defence from Japan. Referee looks, referee blows and says held up.
So much hard work from the Irish. And this is what you mentioned right at the top of the game.
There's any reason why I cannot award the try.
So it looked like they've scored a great effort, to be fair. They wanted to come away from that area of the field, didn't they, with some points. That's what they've been guilty of throughout this tournament. So much possession in the final third of the field, but not converting it into points. Here they've done just that, it looks like.
They've had a couple of visits into the red zone inside the opposition 22. And here's the last part, the pick and go. Is there any reason why we can't award the try is the question.
That's what I mean. I saw it on the line after. I just want to check.
And there's Peter Sylvester. Short there.
Looks pretty good, didn't he? Spun well, did Peter Sylvester.
I haven't gone back to halfway.
There's nothing clear on this screen at all. So if you're happy that it was grounded, happy days.
It's a great try from the Irish. Originated way back down the field, didn't it? And then it was just patience, building those phases. I guess that moment of doubt probably starts to creep in for them because they've managed to get through so many phases during this competition without scoring.
for the player
Sylvester
number 12,
coming up with the goods there, 5-pointer.
After 17 phases, they get the rewards to extend their lead by 8. And they've really played into these conditions superbly, have the Irish. 72 carries in 34 minutes. Japan with the breeze, just 17 occasions they've taken the ball into contact as Byrne will look to try and add an extra 2. Does exactly that, so 22-12, 5 to play.
Good kick from Byrne. Had one in a similar position before and he miscued it completely, didn't he? So he's learnt well, but I think the Irish have adapted brilliantly during this first half. It's 15, 20 minutes just kicking the ball away much more than they have done.
They've got to go deep here, Japan. They've got the advantage of the breeze. No point kicking at just the 10 metres. Ask some questions down in their 22, and that's what they've done. Nice high restart. Puts them under pressure and asks Matthew Agnew to try and do something. That was Sheehan, actually, the hooker initially. And there's the big high lifting style from Jack Dunn. 2 phases and already they're almost at the halfway. There's Stewart. He gets it back to Sheehan. Drops the shoulder and dropped the ball.
Seen many handling errors actually from either team. Just a testament to them both. But as you say, if you can get 50 metres through 2 phases, why kick the ball away?
Still need more space. More space. More space. Hold. Not in.
And that gain line success for Ireland. 34. Compare that to just 4 for the Japanese. Metres made 442 against 46. To be honest, with those stats, you'd think this game was dead and buried, but it certainly isn't.
Japan will be desperate to try and score points in any way they can before the break. Scrums have been a good contest.
Yeah, head on head, on shoulders. You're not going in. Both of you at the same time are going in. I need you to hold your weight. Okay? Hold weight.
I'm impressed with the refereeing in this tournament. The communication they have with the players is brilliant. That's key to being a good referee, in my opinion.
Yeah, always tough. Some of these Japanese players wouldn't understand too much English, and when you tell a prop to hold the weight, they don't understand that at all. Props want to push forward. Ball comes out. Mawala gives it to Hondo. They use some decoy runners, and then the wide pass out to Vailea is a good one. One-on-one, Vailea. Tackle from Lowry's a good one. O'Brien's over the top. He's lost his footing though, so he can't touch it. Hondo goes in, gets the ball, and Okayama couldn't handle it. The captain coming back on the angle.
Tell you what, Lowry's had some game, hasn't he, in the Irish 15 shirt. One-on-one with Vailea. Good tackle. What about the pass though? Great pass. I think it was Maury again. Certainly got some exciting talent, haven't they, coming through, the Japanese. Might have been quite a tough tournament for them at times, but some players that can really look to get some senior honours in the future.
Winners of the trophy last year in Uruguay brought them up to the championship. Poor Ireland though, this is unfamiliar territory. They have never been in this position. This will be their worst result in the history of the under-20 championships.
Stay square. Stay square. Yep. You're walking around both.
We know how desperate they are to stay in this competition. Different styles, hasn't it been, Tom? The flair and the ability to just offload, to use the ball by the Irish, whereas the Japanese more traditional, going from phase to phase, setting targets and then looking to try and find a mismatch.
Clearly that's something that they've looked at in their previews, Ireland. We heard that message, didn't we, from Paul O'Connell, as we mentioned.
Stewart gets it to Byrne. Sylvester, the pass out to Lowry wasn't a good one, but he's got time to go back, pick it up, and then find some metres. He's had a great debut as the Irish fullback. They race out of the line, which meant that Stewart found a gap in the middle and goes through, does the live wire halfback. Players on the inside, and one of them is the big lock. And Jack Dunn, he couldn't control it. And again, they break the defence open and close.
Well, talk about line speed, but Johnny Stewart spotted that out the back door. It's difficult for a big man, isn't it? You know that, Willie.
He was all arms and legs, wasn't he? The big 2 metre lock. Jack Dunn plays his rugby at the Dublin University in Leinster, and he's had a wowzer of a game. He's been everywhere, as Dunn and Daly, the 2 locks.
Japanese, it's all very well having good line speed, but you need to do it as a system in a group. If you fly up, leaves a dog leg, someone like Johnny Stewart be straight into that hole.
Fine. Set.
Ireland have 6 players that are returning from last year. Duggan, Barron, Daly, Doris, Stewart and Dean, so they've got plenty of experience from 2017, and they've just given away a penalty there.
How long, Graham, please? Free kick.
It's a free kick, so they can't kick it out on tip and get the line out throw, so it's going to have to tap and go here.
Yeah, no time left. No time.
Gary Owen. Well, he's just kicked it out. That's it. That'll end the first half. 3 tries to 2. Sees Ireland leading Japan at the break by 22 points to 12.
It's 22 for the Ireland team and 12 for the Japan team. On vous rappelle, mesdames et messieurs, bien aujourd'hui, grande journée ici à Béziers pour les championnats du monde des moins de 20 ans. De cette journée de dimanche, avec notamment l'Irlande opposée au Japon, 22-12 pour l'Irlande à la mi-temps. Tout à l'heure, à 13h30, on enchaîne quasiment. C'est une grande journée de rugby. 13h30, vous aurez l'Écosse face à la Géorgie. Ce sera une finale pour la 9e place. Ensuite, à partir de 16h, vous aurez le Pays de Galles opposé à l'Italie, la finale pour la 7e place. Ce sont les rencontres qui se jouent sur ce terrain annexe du stade de la Méditerranée. Sur le grand terrain, tribune, le grand terrain du stade de la Méditerranée, à 14h vont se jouer la rencontre Argentine opposée à l'Australie pour la 5e place. Et puis l'Afrique du Sud, les Springboks face aux Blacks à la Nouvelle-Zélande, ce sera à 6h30. Et bien entendu, la grande finale que vous attendez tous avec l'équipe de France qui sera opposée à l'Angleterre. Voilà pour ce beau programme, et nous allons accueillir dans quelques instants le retour des 2 équipes dans cette journée Total Rugby au stade de la Méditerranée, championnat du monde des moins de 20 ans.
Graham, is there any reason why I cannot award the try? Come on! Hughes! Graham, is there any reason why?
à la mi-temps. On a un changement, merci, un changement pour l'équipe d'Irlande. Substitution from the team Irlande. Player off, number 7, le joueur qui sort le numéro 7, remplacé par le numéro 20. The player on number 20.
Time on, please.
Welcome back to Béziers as we continue with our coverage of the World Under-20 Championships. Japan get us underway in the second half. Vailea into a strong breeze, has made good purchase down to Hume. The right winger returns down the middle of the field to Yamazawa. Gets it out to the right winger, and Japan are going to have to keep ball in hand in the second half. Playing into this very strong breeze. That's a nice carry from Vailea. Already a replacement made by the Irish, Agnew, making way for Dunleavy. But Japan controlling the tempo and possession. Nice missed pass out to Fafita. He knew that he was close to the sideline, so came back on the angle to just stay in play. And now they're going to have to go to the power game here. Japan through Yamada. Plays for Toyota Shoki, one of the professional teams in Japan. The quick hands from Mori, wasn't a good pass out to Vakalahi, but he did well to hold on to it. And so 5 phases, this is what Japan is going to have to do in the second half. A lot of lateral movement though. They need to go north-south as opposed to east-west. Doris tries to get his hands on the ball, can't get there. Hondo gives it out to Shimokawa. He in turn gives it to his blindside flanker Yamamoto.
And Japan doing exactly what they need to do in this second half. 71% of the last 40 minutes was with Ireland. So
now they get the breakthrough, Mori, and it's a good one. Looking to try and find his winger, but he finds O'Brien instead. Good running from the Irish left winger, stayed in between the two players. And finally, Ireland in the second half get their hands on the ball. Doris with another run. They've got the advantage of the wind, and Byrne is just going to use it. Down to where Fafita is standing, couldn't control it. The ball is still in play. In fact, the referee, Australian referee Angus Gardner, says the ball went out.
Ireland, it's their turn to use these strong gusts of wind that we're having in Béziers. Good to see Japan putting some decent number of phases together with attacking threat. Just need a lot of patience when they get up in those top attacking areas and turn the ball over.
This is Miyu Arai out of the Tokai University. A lot of these young athletes at university still. That's where Japan stronghold in rugby is, at the universities. Eventually it gets out to Mori, then Yamasawa. And they've gone lateral and across the field, and they've given away the penalty.
Person in position to compete for the ball, and you just move forward.
That's disappointing from a Japanese perspective. If they'd managed to get that ball back out. Well, the Irish, they had Duggan, who's a prop, Daly, and I think it was Dunn next to him, so they're 2 second rows and a prop against some of the quicker backs. They're the sorts of opportunities that the Japanese are looking to try and create.
Well, heading into this game, Ireland had carried for 100 occasions for 363 metres in previous games. They've already carried 81 here and have topped 500 metres. This man is having a good day off the tee.
I think just to back up your stat there of over 80 carries, 40 of them have been over the gain line. That's what makes the difference.
Byrne moves in, nice control. Knew that he had struck it beautifully, just turned and started running back towards halfway. And it's Ireland who score first in the second half.
Vailea, he'll be looking to do exactly what he did with the first kickoff of the second half, put it right back in the corner, land it on James Hume.
He's gone down deep to the 22. To be Stewart who takes it, the halfback, and he returns it with his left foot. And that's a lovely exit play from Stewart used the win to perfection.
Maybe one thing with those kickoffs, perhaps Japan need to vary that. Perhaps come a bit shorter, compete for it. Don't let Ireland get a chance to kick that ball away.
They're on the mark, you set your own gap.
Japan have the lightest and smallest players in the championship as Fafita gets the ball. He's thrown it to nobody. And so another error that had to be tidied up by Mamada. They arrive and now they see some space through the middle. Does Moala. Gets over the advantage line, and again it's in the close quarters. Ireland now called on to do some defending in close. They'll loop around and use the backs. Mamada to the line. Taken in the tackle of Dunleavy. This is Hondo. Again, they recycle, and again, it's out to their big ball carriers, but Ireland equal to the challenge. One-off defending, very easy for the defence to read. This is where you get a little bit more creative there. Mamada, the change of angle from outside in was Okayama. Got caught in a ball and all tackle. Good defence coming in from Cormac Daly again. Well, this is the 9th phase, and they've got a net gain of -5 from where the line-out started, and now the penalty.
Yeah, discipline's really costing Japan now. That's 2 really key penalties they've given away in the opening 6 minutes. And Harry Byrne just looking to extend this lead.
The secret of Japan rugby is pace, because you know that they're going to be fitter than most teams because they train so hard. So they're going to have the fitness, and they've also got speed. Taking it one off the ruck here into Ireland is playing right down their channel, is playing right into their hands. They're better off to give it a bit of width and chance their arm.
I think also they're just attacking left and right of that central breakdown, which actually you need to try and expose a team, really stretch that defence. Okay, if you stay in the middle of the field, then it negates the line speed.
Byrne looking to add an extra 3 to his tally. He'll enjoy these kicking conditions. Well, the first 5, makes no mistake.
Sailed into the car park beyond that one. Well, as a fly half, there's nothing better. You've had a torrid time in the first half, kicking into the wind, knowing that you've got the second 40, you can just pop the ball up, let the wind do the rest.
Well, let's see if Japan have changed their point of attack here. They want to try and kick the ball and keep it outside the 22 so that Ireland don't kick it out and get the massive meters that they can with this breeze at their back. That's better. That's perfect. Just outside the 22, Doris takes it. Beats the first defender, can't beat the second. The line speed again, they race up to Japan. Ask questions of Duggan. Stewart gets it out to Byrne. Sylvester steps off the right and then gets a nice shot on him from Vakalahi. Now it's O'Brien that breaks the tackle, gives it out to Tommy O'Brien. Just a winger to beat. Tackle's made. Not Howard gets up and goes again. Then the offload. Stewart's there, the live wire halfbacks and everything. Byrne just taps it on. Ireland playing with some real skill now. Men with the small numbers on their backs doing the hard work. And again goes Daly, Cormac Daly. The kick through for O'Brien, but he was in front of the kicker.
1 offside.
And some obstruction here.
Offside, number 1.
Well, look at this. Sylvester's twisting and turning. Whoa, that
8.
hit from Vakalahi.
Every time we get into the 22.
Working really hard on his feet just to try and get those extra yards.
Where I am, Damon? Goal?
He didn't miss. Vakalahi, did he? You hate those ones because you don't expect it. You don't know it's coming from outside in, and then bang.
Hopefully he's just winded. jogs up the field. Good to see him back on his feet. You're right though, Willie.
Lads, lads.
You see a shadow with a red and white hoops on coming towards you.
Off, please.
Flags are raised again. And this Irish squad, they're the tallest at the Under-20 Championships in 2018. And they're really starting to take its toll now. The size difference and also the amount of possession that they had in that first half. The Irish changes here for Japan. Can they up the tempo? This wonderful competition has been in existence since 2008, and close to 600 debutants have gone on to represent their country at higher honours. There's no doubt that a number of these players will follow suit as that kick goes down to Hume immediately. Gets the pass inside. Ireland through. Sheehan makes good, valuable meters. Byrne at first receiver. Out to Sylvester, and he kick it long and deep down to where Yamazawa fields it inside his own half, and he's gone across the field. Wobbly old kick.
He's gone 5.
Bounces up for Stewart. Throws the dummy.
Release,
Now they've got to release him. Byrne goes into play halfback. The wide pass eventually finds its way out to Hume. Quickly the Irish support arrives. Moala with a good tackle, and then he steals the ball, does the number 8 for Japan. So they've got some possession here to Japan, and a new halfback, and Fujiwara's on. Mamata gets it out to Mori. Nice pass out to Vailea. Out on the right-hand side, the kick along the ground. O'Brien gets back and puts a foot into touch. Best passage of play for Japan in the second half.
Yeah, great attack from Japan. And what a ball, they're off again though.
They get it in quickly. They wanted to play with tempo. This is Japan rugby at its best. High risk and high reward. Mori to the line. Beats the first. It's tackled by Sylvester in the end. Places the ball on the ground. Here's the captain. Okayama. Good yards, Okayama. Just one to beat. Now he's 3 short. Japan on the attack, looking for quick ball. Fujiwara steps on the inside. Now they'll look to use it, Japan. The forwards roll their sleeves up. And close again is Yamamoto. 5 phases. And here's Hashimoto. Scored 1 in the first half, and he's lost it cold. Probably needed to move that one.
Yeah, maybe, but I just think at times the Japanese are getting caught with too many numbers around the breakdown, which is meaning that they can't get the ball out. And then the individual error costing them that. But it's good to see them breaking with real intent, keeping that ball, trying to raise the pace of the game.
Listen, I'm going on what my AI is saying. Okay. 1 and 3.
Speaking of some of the graduates that have come through, think of players for Japan like Michael Leach, Amanaki, Mafi, and 7 of the under-20 trophy graduates played in the loss that Japan had to Italy in Corby just 24 hours ago, as the changes are made in the front row. Yamada comes off and Tsukayama replaced by Ishida and Oyama.
Stand back on, please.
Pour l'équipe du Japon. Le second substitution for the Japan.
22-12, the halftime score. In the last 13 minutes, it's been all Ireland with 3 penalties through the reliable boot of Harry Byrne.
5.
Which Kalen Doris maybe pick up here, just try and get into the edges of this Japanese defence.
They've got to use it, so Stewart will clear. Burn. Easy meters.
As long as they can get the ball up, the kickers are having a field day because they know the wind can take it a long way. And the Japanese get an opportunity to attack again. I'd like to see Fafita trying to get more infield, actually. Influential when he's been in the midfield. Spent a lot of time out on this width, not really getting off his wing.
Stay on your front mark, please. Move. Thank you.
Strength of the Japanese game again as the line out, and it's won by Shimokawa. They've got an advantage here, and so they'll look to try and release it. Fujiwara wants the ball. Mamata at first receiver. Kick pass out to Vailea. Takes it easily. Gets the tackle of Lowry at the same time. There's no advantage for the Japanese. They'll come back for the penalty.
Vailea, he's getting fed up with the sight of Lowry, isn't he? Every time he catches the ball. A little Irish fullback with a white cap on, right up in his face. Played brilliantly, got good footwork, good speed.
They need a spark here, Japan. They need to find some magic in the next 10 minutes to try and close that gap.
Well, the line-out's been a strength, hasn't it? Certainly in the first 40 minutes, that was something they could rely on. This could be an opportunity for them to get back into the game. As soon as Vailea's got the ball, Lowry's right up in front of him.
Yamamoto changes position but wins the ball again. And this has been an area where Japan have enjoyed some success. Backwards, Ireland. They're going across, they've got to use the ball. Japan here. Eventually it gets to ground. Once again, it's slow ball. Easy for the defence of Ireland to just come up and make tackles on new players like Ishida. The decoy here's Fafita. Gets out the outside. Fafita says, arigato! Straight in.
Great finish from Fafita. Just mentioned it before, didn't I? Get involved, get off your wing. He's such a physical threat. Look at the size of him. He could fit in that front row, no bother. Problem is, he's rapid with it. Great try from the Japanese. Varying their play off the line out brilliantly. 31-17 with the kick to come. That'll give them some confidence. Starting to play a bit better now, aren't they, in the second half?
Well, he got involved, came looking for some work from the left wing, found a nice hole down the first channel. And you're right, he is a big unit. Conversion successful, Japan respond, and they needed to score to close the gap.
They want to bring those little sprinklings of doubt, don't they, into the mind of those Irish defenders. They'll certainly be lacking confidence. Look at that. Great power, dynamism.
It's hilarious, isn't it? We were watching them during the warm-up, and I thought that was the number 8. And you correctly told me that's the winger.
Terrifying.
Byrne uses the wind, gets it up nice and high. Fafita will claim it after scoring. The try breaks out of the first tackle, keeps the big legs pumping, and Fafita now with the offload. Now they're starting to find some gaps here. Vakalahi looks for support. Beautiful run from Japan, right from the kickoff. Now it's quick ball, Okayama to Mamata. Mori gets met by Sylvester in the midfield. Again, they go to the right. Not too much really happening there, and so captain says, let's go back to where the heavy ball runners are, and this is Mamata. Grubbers it along the ground. Stewart's done well to come in and claim the ball, but Ireland were never onside. And now the discipline from the men in the emerald greens coming under question.
And also cost themselves even more. Meters with a bit of chat. Don't need that. And now Japan will be licking their lips once again. Ball to the corner.
Well, sport is all about momentum, isn't it? And all of a sudden, Japan have got some momentum. Fafita breaks the tackle, offloads to Fakalahi, and all of a sudden, 40 metres later, they're inside the Irish 22.
I think the Irish, they'll be so disappointed with their performances so far in this tournament that that's what the Japanese will be trying to get into. That self-doubt that might just start to creep in.
They scored a try from a line out to Japan. And it's that man again, Shimokawa. Ball is under control. They've got to get out of there, the Irish players. That's just professional fouls. Now they break, and this is the captain, Okayama. He's 5 short. They send all the players out to the right. Fujiwara is the halfback. He's got to use it. You can see Moala, the big number 8, goes one wider. He'll be the next cab off the rack when he goes in just to help to get over the advantage line.
Now, Red, let go. Arrive up.
Ball is there.
Go.
Just need to keep the ball here, Japan. Now they run across the field. They use a few decoy plays. Fafita's going to pick up 2. 3 minutes, Fafita scores twice. And Japan have found something very special.
It's a great finish, great line from Fafita, but that all came from the decoy from Vakalahi. Out to win, sucked in 2 or 3 of those Irish defenders, those Irish defensive eyes. And then you cannot leave that man with any space. Half tackles aren't going to stop those trees. That was the line, wasn't it? Vakalahi just coming back. Sat those Irish defenders down on their heels, and it's so hard to move from that position.
Smart play from the Japanese. They've upped the tempo in the last 10 minutes, and they've been rewarded with positive play, and now they trail just by 5.
Look at the body language of the Irish. They're not exactly charging back to that halfway line. Looking a bit tired, aren't they?
Well, who wants it more in the final quarter of this game? Always thought this was going to be a brilliant match, and it hasn't disappointed. 31-26, 20 to play. Who stays up in the championship next year will be decided in the next quarter of this match as Byrne goes high. Fafita takes it again. Runs into the tackle this time of Dunn. Holds on to possession. They need a good exit play here. And so Moala adds his big bulk to get them a few more meters. Here they go.
You're not dummy.
Can't dummy. And this is a maul, so Ireland will be happy to hold the ball up here to try and get possession back. You can see there the tall timber holding up the smaller players from Japan.
Well, as soon as the Japanese hear that, they've all got to pile into that, try and knock it over, get the ball back. It's too easy to just let the Irish shut that down. Well, Fafita, 7 carries, 73 metres made. That's how influential he can be on this side.
Starting to get their meters made up, aren't they, Japan? Now at 227, it was 89 in the first half. And so those carries are valuable, in particular when they can get some easier meters. And Ireland finally get to touch the ball after doing a lot of defending for the last 5 minutes. They get a penalty.
Just getting punished in that scrum. 2 substitutes. Ishida and Oyama. That's the only decision, isn't it, for the Irish, really? Extend that lead, take another 3 if they're on opportunity. With this wind, he'd be pretty confident. Harry Byrne.
be enjoying these conditions. Head down, follow through, 3 points.
Good strike from Harry Byrne. And a really important 3 points for Ireland.
Isn't it great that sportsmanship and the crowd, the way that they respect the goal kickers and nothing. It's very weird. Only in Ireland, I think it is, where there's no noise at all when the goal kickers are actually teeing up the ball.
But it won't be like that tonight.
No chance. So they take it out to a 2-try or 2-score differential here. 8 points now as Sheehan takes it from the kickoff. Takes it into the midfield, and now Stewart just commanding things, bringing a few forwards in. Back to Byrne in the pocket. He kicked it high. Moala comes forward and takes it. The big number 8 gives it back to Fafita. Now the Tongans work in tandem for Japan. They get back. Fujiwara looks out. And you've got to use a bigger ball carrier. This is better. Use one of the big guys to carry it in Ishida. Mamada to Mori. Drops it back to Yamamoto. Good run from the blindside flanker standing out in the midfield. Fujiwara, Mamada. Here's Yamasawa. He's got some nice steps. Beats the first. Strong enough to get from front of the second and the third. Yamasawa into the 22. Stewart's not rolling away there. Referees identified it. Now Japan get inside the red zone. Yamazawa. Fujiwara out to Mamada. The kick along the carpet. Mori chases. Laurie gets there. Larry gets there rather, and not rolling away earlier. Japan get the penalty. What do they do here?
Corner.
No, he's got to get out of the way.
Surely the corner. You heard the Irish shout then, didn't you? We know what they're going to do here. Well, that's all very well, but you've got to try and stop it.
That's the key, isn't it? And stop it legally. It's down to call on their discipline here inside the red zone, and Japan well aware that their line-out is working well.
4, 2 green. 2's going. 4. No. I know.
Mentioned it before about the fitness levels, and Japan won't be tired at this stage with 15 to go. Sure, they're tired, but they know what's at stake here. And it just looks like they've just upped the tempo, now starting to run with some, well, find some gaps that weren't there in the earlier 60 minutes.
I think also when you get to this stage in a game and it comes down to confidence, that's a key ingredient, isn't it, to how a side performs in the last 15 minutes of a game.
There's some changes you can see for the Irish team on debut. There's the man from Connacht coming into the front row, but first things first, it's the Japanese line-out. Miyu Arai will look for Shimokawa. They find him down the back of the line-out on this occasion. Now they sack it to Ireland immediately. The tackler is brought to ground. Fujiwara goes in. Moala stands at first receiver. Here goes the big number 8. He carts it forward. Strong defence from the Irish. Now they pick and go, change the point of attack. Backs will be calling for the ball shortly. The forwards look to try and find a few defenders that are in close. And now Fujiwara goes in, gets it, clears the ball. They bring Fafita in from the left wing again. They know what a threat he is, the Irish, and so they make their first up tackles here.
Get back. Use!
Back out to the left, and the forwards again asked to carry it. They go 3 metres short. 7 phases, Japan building nicely.
Get back!
Again, it's down Main Street. And again, the Irish have infringed and given away a penalty. Got numbers out to the left here. Japan, if they want to use the backs. Fujiwara wants the ball. He's got the call.
Use!
Right underneath the goalpost. You can see the goalpost there in Japan again. Looking to try and play the power game. This is where it's got to go. Ireland holding on, strong defence. Here's the penalty. They've got to score twice, Tom, so why wouldn't you take the points and then get back?
Okay. Side.
We may well see them do that. Yet. Good patience, though, I think, from the Japanese. They were all lined out, then they realised the space wasn't there, so they then went back to their tight game. You make a valid point, especially when the penalty's pretty much in front of the sticks.
Stop on there. Still be at least, probably over 10 at least. 12 to go, eh? 12 to go.
Better on the last occasion for Ireland, sacking it straight away. You just heard the referee say it's 12 minutes to go.
Interesting that the Irish asked the question as well.
They've won the line out again, Japan, but this time it's sacked early. Nothing fancy here from Japan, they'll just pick and go. Moala thought that he had broken through there. First contact has to be the man with the ball. Ireland try and drive him back through Duggan. It's slow ball. Ireland desperate to get the penalty, and they've got it. So they got isolated, and this is how much it means to the Irish.
Great turnover. Wasn't it needed? They were under so much pressure. See the body language of the Japanese after they gave away that penalty, just lying on the floor. It's not a massive clearance by Harry Bird by any means, but it'll feel like an absolute monster to those Irish forwards who've had to keep getting back to their feet and repelling those Japanese attackers.
They needed points there, Japan.
6 is coming around the back over here.
I know I'm old school, but I always say that
6.
if you're going to score twice, you might as well take the points that are available. Take the 3, get back to halfway. And really trying to play that power game against Ireland. There's only going to be one winner.
5.
Well, they've looked most threatening when they've gone 1 or 2 passes out from the breakdown, changed their angles.
Nice first throw from Tierney, he's on, and debut, and they throw the dummy, and then the wide pass out to Lowry, and then out to Hume. Hume kicks, and he's kicked it out on the full.
Big mistake from Hume. Good option. Poor execution of the skill, though.
Ireland.
Well, Japan, they just want to get the ball back in their hands, don't they? And this provides them with
6.
just that opportunity.
The months of training, the dedication and application, all comes down to these moments here. Shimakawa wins it. They're not going to maul from 50 metres out. So Japan
Let go.
will look to try and get a penalty if they can from this.
That's 1.
Arai has the ball in the back. Fujiwara gets it. Here's the halfback, he cans. He's quick. Fafita, first receiver.
Tackle, release!
Ball bounces back, Moala does well to pick it up. And then turn and go forward. Pods are set. The forwards now just standing one out, looking for the ball in the ruck. Again out to the right they go. Arai is there alongside Oyama. Here's Arai. And to the shoulder of Daly. Fights, spins, and eventually presents the ball. They come back to the blind side. Mamada runs a line and then gives it to Fakalahi. In between 2 defenders, gives the ball up to Fafita. That's a nice offload. Japan working their way in close to the 22. Hume eventually releases it. Morty.
Oh, good tackle.
That's a good tackle coming in, you're right, from Dunn. Now they've got players out to the right. Mamada challenges the line. Fujiwara gets there quickly. This is Kodama. Just come on in jersey 22. No way through this Irish defence after 8 phases.
Tackle!
Japanese need to get around the corner. They're just running out of numbers. Looking to tire slightly now.
Now Fujiwara Here is Yamazawa. Have done well. Japan to hold on to possession. And again, for the third time in this sequence of play, it's Ashida, the loose head prop. Now out to Shimokawa. Here comes Fakalahi. Ball to Moala's a nice one. Then out to Fafita. Fafita using the power game. Down the sideline, they've still got possession. 12 phases, Japan. Nice angle. Great run. 4 short. Fujiwara looks for the ball. Again, out to the right they go. The numbers are there. Mori needs to just pass it on. Here they go, Japan. They've still got a threat. Yamazawa gets it wide. And Vailea goes in. Japan draw closer. Champagne finish.
What a score from Vailea. Brilliant down this near touchline. It's the Tongan trio, wasn't it? Vakalahi, Moala and Fafita. They've been a pain in that Irish backside all afternoon. And even when the ball hit the ground, they still had the opportunity, shifted the ball. And Vailea's come up again. Good feet. And working hard to get closer to the sticks. Just stepped inside Sean O'Brien, who's had a pretty good afternoon.
Well, this is vital. In difficult conditions, Mori kicking into a breeze. The 1 point difference will mean that the penalty, if they are to get one, will give them success. Yuto Mori from Meiji University makes it a 1 point game. It's all but sudden death playoff here between Ireland and Japan hasn't disappointed. 34-33, 6 to play. Oh, they look full of running to the Japanese. The Irish just taking their time, playing out the clock there. You can see them walking back to halfway. They're in no hurry at all, but Japan go down the middle of the field, does burn, down to Yamazawa. The fullback looks up and then he chances his arm, but he fights and gets to the ground. Japan will have to go 80 metres.
They just need to be careful here. They're giving a couple of penalties away, haven't they, in this area?
The wide pass, Vakalahi gives a short ball out to Mori. He's not held. In fact, that's the captain, Inokayama, the open side flanker, standing out in the back line. The breeze picks up. So do the Japanese spirits. Through Ayabi. He's on in jersey 19 with the headgear. It's slow ball. One pass will do it for Japan just to get outside the in-close defenders. Now they use decoy runners. Yamazawa thought about throwing the pass through the dummy to Vakalahi. Fujiwara just can't seem to get outside their own 22, the Japanese.
They're working really hard. They just need to move that ball to the width.
These one-off runs are really easy for the defence, and thought they could get the ball there, Ireland, but they can't. Fujiwara, the inside pass, they're looking to try and move the point of attack to a different area. The Japanese, the support arrives. Good contest this.
Good contest with their 8 phases. They've gone about 8 metres, if that.
Now the ball out the back. There's that error that you were talking about. It's gone backwards though, so the referee says no, and that's what happens when player wasn't aware of what was happening.
That could be costly as well. So difficult to defend a scrum in the middle of the field. What a game we've had here.
Let's go.
Oh, just a lack of communication.
Let's go.
Lack of understanding in those roles.
Big moment of the game, this. Ireland ahead by 1. They've got a midfield scrum, options left and right. Lowry is a wonderful defender. He stands out to the right with Hume. O'Sullivan feeds. They've got to use it now, and so they come out to the left, Burn to the line. The missed pass out to O'Brien. He gives it out to Tommy O'Brien, and for sure, the Irish are over. Oh, beautiful play from the set phase. Byrne took it to the line, released it to Sean O'Brien, and Tommy O'Brien goes over in the corner. What a response from Ireland. They've been under the pump over the last 5 minutes, and the backs showed something very special. What a finish from the left winger. Absolute class. They got him the ball as quickly as they could. Just the way that he was able to keep his body low, made sure he knew where the touchline was. That is a special moment for Tommy O'Brien. Now this is an all-important kick. This will take it out to 8 points. Byrne can't convert, and so all but for Japan. A converted try will get them the championship, or allow them to remain in the championship more correctly. Last chance saloon. This is where you throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. Vailea chips it down to Lowry. He's had a wonderful game, has the Irish fullback, and he returns it with interest.
Go, boys! Big set!
Have they got something special? Can Japan perform a miracle here? They get the first thing right, which is the line-out win, then it's sacked. So the ball in the back, they've got to use it. They've got to use it. And there is Arai. Didn't really understand initially, but then decided that he had to go out on his own. Forwards a little bit laboured in getting back, and now Fafita comes in looking for some work. Irish defence is strong. Fujiwara has possession. Again, it's one off running. And again, it's easy to defend. Quickly, they release it. There's a half gap there for Mamada. Ireland discipline needs to be good here. And Japan need to find something special from one of their big players. The decoy again out to Mori. There's just no way through this defence. Ireland desperate to keep their championship dreams alive for 2019. And to the contact is Fuki. The pop pass. Fakalahi, they knew that he's the threat, and straight away Byrne was up there to make the tackle with Sylvester, so the team tackle works. Can't get isolated here, Japan. Again, it's to the right now. They've got some numbers. Mamada to Mori. The quick hands coming back in against the grain. See Doris trying to get his hands on the ball, but he couldn't. And now the backs want it again. Pass out to Yamasawa. Fakalahi, he's got Fafita to his left. We're into referee's time now. Fourteen phases, 10 metres they've made. Most important thing is that Japan have got the ball. Now they look to try and strike back the left-hand side. They've got numbers here, plenty of them. The decoy runners, Mamada to Fakalahi, needed to offload that. There were players in support, held on to the ball instead. And again, it's easy for Ireland to set their defence. The line speed is good. They get up and make their tackles. Just no way through here for Japan. And after 18 phases, almost exactly back at the starting place from the line-out. That's good from Ayabi. And here's the penalty, and that's the turnover. And the young men have answered Ireland's call, and they will return to the Under-20 Championships in 2019. Harry Byrne taps and puts it beyond doubt. Ireland remain in the championship. What a thrilling contest, where Ireland have triumphed by 39 points to 33 over Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final score is...
Spirited effort from the Japanese, but it was all Ireland after they led at half-time by 22 points to 12. The Japanese showed a lot of spirit in coming back in that second half to make it a contest, but Ireland, through their left winger Tommy O'Brien scoring at a crucial time, and the reliable boot of Harry Byrne, means that Ireland will be involved in the Under-20 Rugby World Championships next year. Japan will head to the trophy competition. Well, Caelan Doris has been an outstanding player for Ireland, both on attack and defence. He's downstairs.
Caelan, a fantastic win there for the Irish. How tough was that?
Oh, incredibly tough. Went right down to the last minute, even into extra time. That last D-set, we were all out on our feet. Thankfully, one of the boys came in with a jackal and won it for us, but incredibly tough game. We saw what Japan could bring, some really strong runners, came close against Wales and again against Georgia, so we knew it was going to be a tough battle, and we're delighted now to finish on a high.
And how tough has this competition been for you? You've had some tough games to go through. How pleased are you that the team's bounced back in this manner?
Massively so, yeah. Obviously, very tough group, starting with France, South Africa, then Georgia. 3 really physical teams. Unfortunately, we came up short. But yeah, delighted with the character the boys showed, and to bounce back and to make sure the lads next year are back in the competition where we belong is great.
And some fantastic performances from you personally. How have you found this competition?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Obviously some really tough games, some massively tough opposition, but that's where you want to be, playing against the best in the world, so I've really enjoyed it, yeah.
Congratulations, fantastic win.
3 tries in the first half to Japan's 2 at 22-12, but what a fight back they showed in that second half, the Brave Blossoms. And let's get some reaction from their camp.
It's a very disappointing result for Japan, clearly, but you've played some fantastic rugby in this game.
すごい本当に惜しいゲームだったけども、見てても素晴らしいゲームだったと思います。
ありがとうございます。勝ちにいったゲームで、負けてしまって次の U20 の JWC につなげれなかったことは本当に悔しいですけど、チーム全体でやりきれたことは、その点に関しては本当にみんなよく頑張ってくれたと思ってます。
Thank you very much indeed. So we tried to manage to win, but that was a very close game. So but we did all the best. We don't regret anything.
And there's some fantastic performances from some of the players out there in all of the games that have really impressed everyone watching. How impressed are you as a captain of what your team's put in?
今日だけじゃなくていろんなゲームですごいたくさんいいパフォーマンスが出たんだけど、キャプテンとしてどんなマネージみんなを火つけてきたか。
ジャパンは多分体が周りの国より体小さくてフィジカルの部分で劣るって思われてるかもしれないですけど、そこの僕らはそこを体の大きさ小ささ関係なく、その 1v1 1対1のところで勝つように、ずっと、最初の練習の時からトレーニングの時からやってきたんで、そこで絶対負けやんとこうっていう話をして盛り上げていきました。
Yeah, actually, people think Japanese always much smaller than the others, but we believe so. If the much smaller than the others, but we train and physically and mentally. Then so we always fight 1v1. So we don't think we lose individual competition.
It's been great to watch you this year. Best of luck for next year's tournament.
They have played their part here in France, but there is the smiles, and Irish eyes are smiling all over France and throughout Europe. They have beaten Japan in an absolute thriller here in the south of France by 39 points to 33.